I did myself a massive disservice by not trying out Freya's Francisco way back when this weapon came out. Pairing it with Rapier has just been amazing. I mean, the survivability on this build is ridiculous. For a light armor build, to have this much durability, it's just crazy. And there are so many aspects of this build that I absolutely love. I mean, it's not just the survivability. The fact that we can blow our stamina and still have so many options not to die, it's crazy, man. But of course, I love how it plays offensively too. Rapier is so much fun as an offensive weapon, and I know a lot of people like to use Rapier as a runaway stick, but holy crap, when you learn to use it offensively, it absolutely dominates every other melee weapon. Of course, there is a bit of a breakdown of this build at the end of the video, and there is a written guide down below if you guys want to see the new and improved version that I'm running today. And I am so close to putting out the next top 5 episode. If you guys have some awesome clips that you want to see in a New World top 5, you can send that to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. I've got 10 minutes of PvP commentary for you guys today, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And we're just at the end of these few opening clips. I just wanted to show off a few Hatchet kills because, yeah, Hatchet's so much fun. Now, let's get into that commentary. I'm at the enemy side here. I see this guy cutting the trees. We know he's going to build the door, and I just love it. So much damage with the Hatchet right off the bat. Even though I'm missing a few, we get some really nice damage in. Unfortunately, I go for the flesh into him right as he's doing his hammer stun, so poor timing on my part. But I do manage to get a little bit more damage in, and it looks like he's used his potion. And I just love it, man. The Hatchet's so much fun. We land. He can't get away. The Hatchet's too good. He's got to weave. Now, a little bit of time goes by, and I'm just trying to get in this door. These guys, of course, putting up the doors right away. I cannot wait for the new OPR map to come. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with the old map, is that once these doors are up, you don't have a ton of options for cover outside of the outposts, so yeah, not my favorite, but that's okay. We get caught inside of this guy's stuff here. I do manage to do a nicely timed roll to dodge the attack. I'm going to use the evade to break a little bit more distance so he can't get us with the spin. Now we've got, I think, 4 players kind of charging towards me here. The healer has thrown the healing circle on me too. I come back around the corner here. I want to take a bit of cover. And just as they're coming towards me, I go through the group and I try to get a bit of damage in with my rapier here. Unfortunately, these guys heal up really fast. And it looks like this guy came around the back to get me. I blow my stamina just so I can get the dodge on that incoming stun. And then I chuck the hatchets at this guy as he comes around the corner. The hatchets are so much fun. Honestly, they do a ton of damage once you start landing them, but you have to land them. And hatchet is hard to aim. Let's be totally real about it. It is super hard to aim the hatchet. I think out of all the ranged weapons in this game, the hatchet is probably the hardest to land consistently, but that's okay. I managed to get a couple good lands on this guy here. He hits me with the counter stagger as I go in for the finish with the rapier. And then I just keep hucking axes at him at a distance. And this guy with the blunderbuss, he is not missing a single shot. Oh my god. That aim lock blunderbuss is just the bane of PvP right now. But that's okay. We break enough distance that we're out of his range. And I managed to finish him off with a couple nicely thrown hatchets there. And then we managed to get good damage on the rapier player here. And I should have gone for the evade into the light attack right away. Unfortunately, he squirrels away and he heals up. And he's very low health here. He goes in for the flourish and finish. And I just hit him with the flesh to finish him off. And I gotta love the amount of condition removal we have on this build. Taking off the bleeds makes flourish and finish not a deadly skill to deal with. And that's something big this patch, you know? We've got the condition removal through our ultimate, and we've got the cleanse potions to do it. So we got a lot of options there. Here you can see, again, the bruiser comes out. I get great damage on him. And then I turn onto the fire staff player here. I managed to get a bit of damage into him too, but he ends up squirreling away with his burnout. And I just retreat back behind the rocks here. I've got 4 enemy players. Looks like just 3 now. The fire staff player ran away, and yeah, that door is still up. I'm trying so hard in this clip to take that door down. It is so difficult for me, but that's okay. The cleanse potion coming in clutch there, just taking off all those bleeds and negative effects. And then I get back behind this tree here. The musket player ends up blowing his stamina, so I go in for some big damage on him. Big damage with the flesh. And then I love the hatchet, man. We land the attacks. We get our kill before the Ice Gauntlet player on our team can steal it from us. And then I just keep squirreling around. That's the beauty of this build, you know? It's people chased me this whole OPR all over the enemy outpost here. We've got friendlies on the outpost now, and I'm just looking for some fun fights, so I'm not sitting on the outpost flipping it. Instead, I'm dealing with these 3 guys here, and again, the Rapier player just trying to land that flourish and finish. We don't remove the negative effect with the cleanse potion, and you can see how much damage he does, but I've gotta be honest, the recovery on this weapon combo is just crazy. So easily our health shoots back up, and having the tumbler feet wraps is a big deal too. We are getting a lot of health from the shirking heals and the tumblers, and using my rapier, I just move around these guys. Lots of direction changes. I get a bit of damage with the rapier on the great axe player, but these guys end up just backing up and switching to their ranged weapons, and I gotta stay kind of close to the musket guy. If we let him squirrel too far away, he is just gonna be able to hit us, and there's no way we'll land those hatchets at a big distance, but there is a huge combo with the hatchets. Oh, what am I saying? We can land those hatchets, no problem. He goes down, and then I switch over to the blunderbuss player here, and yeah, more squirreling. I think I actually end up getting sniped there from behind, but that's okay. We keep moving on, come back towards their outpost, and find myself with a ton of enemy players on top of me. Again, this build just so good at staying alive. I go for the flesh through this guy. I get really good damage with the rapier. He's at like 25% health from that combo, really quick and snappy. But I end up blowing my stamina here, which is a huge mistake. Still, I'm able to survive using the rapier to get out of there. The body block was what was the big issue. Just trying to get through those guys without a roll is very deadly, but I do manage to get out. And it looks like one of the players there, very low health still. He hasn't healed up. But we got the bear in front of us, and the bear, oh man, he's not my friend. Managed to break aggro though, because he is from the other side. And I turn into melee range, and I just love that with Rapier. You just open right away with the flurry, you roll out of it, so you make sure you stay in iframes the whole time. And you can trade with basically anything. Even those super scary Void Gauntlet players, you can trade really effectively with, as long as you're canceling that flurry a little bit early. And we managed to get good damage on the Fire Staff and Great Axe player. Everybody else goes back inside the keep, and it's just me and him. I land a hatchet as he's coming through his burnout, and there is the flesh to get behind him. A light attack into the evade, and he ends up going down. And then, yeah, lots of enemy players here. But again, we've got so many tools to stay alive, even when our stamina is blown. And very low on health here, so I just try to get as much cover as I can. And the axe player follows me around the corner. I do land with the immobilize just for a second, stopping him from hitting me with the spin. And 4 enemy players just kind of sitting around here. Again, we just go for that flurry, and he does a great job predicting my incoming flurry, and he traps me with the ice gauntlet. I keep splitting through the group here. We don't have a ton of cover to work with, but we do have these little palisades here, and yeah, I'm just doing my best. I end up eating that immobilize again. This guy running Ice Gauntlet and Void Gauntlet. Such a terrifying combo to fight when you're outnumbered like this, because you get trapped quickly, but this build does such a good job dealing with it. And there's that death, you know, 5+ players. That's what it takes to take a build like this down. Unless, of course, I make mistakes, and let's be honest, I make lots of mistakes, guys. And one short and sweet little clip at the end here. Just hanging out, trying actually to get to the enemy outpost side, and they've got the doors up. Today was just the worst in PvP, man. Everybody was playing Build the Castle, and it just makes me miss the new map so much. But again, you know, the movement on Rapier and Hatchet, we're just able to keep up a super high haste rate, moving through everybody, and yeah, these guys here, they just keep trying to shoot at me, and I like that because, you know, we've got a super crazy range meta right now, so having this kind of mobility and jumping around, especially the iframes that you get through the various abilities that we have, it makes a huge difference in staying alive in these kinds of fights. And the Swordboard player, he hits me with a stagger, and he decides to go back towards that. Oh my god, we're just gonna pretend I didn't miss the stationary target, no big deal. And it looks like we managed to isolate one player by himself. We get on top of him with the rapier. This guy, very squishy. We're able to just take down his whole ice thing with the flurry. And then a nice couple hatchets land to take him down. And that's something I'm really learning about the hatchet, is to watch your opponent's abilities, and because the projectile is so slow, wait for them to use certain moves and then hit them with the hatchets where you can guarantee those hits. Anyway, I'm running the Tumbler Feet Wrap now, so here's a quick look at the attribute points and the Rapier and Hatchet trees. I haven't made any changes to the actual trees themselves, just the gear. We're running the same Rapier as before. Ideally, actually, I would love to have played crits on this guy because just dealing with healers, especially when I'm by myself, is such a pain. And then the Hatchet, perfect with Vicious. I think Vicious is definitely the way to go. You have such a high crit rate. And I made some big gear upgrades. You have to have quite a bit of 725 gear to hit all the jump points on this build. If you can't, I would recommend just going 25 in intelligence instead of 50. And that means you don't have to invest crazy amounts of money into a build like this. But I was happy that I could get a nice gear upgrade after the server merges. And of course, I was running the Keen Berserk perk. I'm showing you guys both with and without the perk. You don't really need it, but it makes a nice difference for your hatchet damage. Unfortunately, today I was playing in like light armor with 1 medium helmet, so it wasn't amazing. And there you go, guys. That is the build. Again, there is a written guide online if you want to check it out. You can find me on Twitch if you want to catch me live. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.